It's Jazz. It's the West Ham Irons channel. It's Monday morning, the day I hate the most because it's the start of a new working week and a bit tired after the epic journey yesterday to watch the mighty Hammers. So a couple of the trains weren't quite behaving themselves. Crossrail, I found out, doesn't work on a Sunday until perhaps next year. And then got there through a couple of trains, a couple of cabs. Bit late getting into the ground because there was a huge queue. I got there about 30-40 minutes before kickoff. Huge queue, people complaining, very, very hot. And obviously missed, I think about 7-8 minutes, of the match starting, and especially with Cornet coming onto the pitch. You know, I've got really high hopes for Cornet. I'm really excited to see him join our club. So unfortunately, I couldn't welcome him into our club yesterday, really. So let's see what's going on in the chat, and then we'll kind of talk about, let's start off, just want to share a breaking news with you guys, really. So, Frankie, what were the ups, Frankie? What were the ups, mate? It was just down and down anyway. Oh, my God. Yeah. I mean, we'll go into it in a minute, Frankie, but we weren't really surprised, were we, when we saw the starting lineup? And I know Frankie, I think, was very envious of Spurs, what they're doing at the moment and how they've started, and even Arsenal, shall I say, even Newcastle. I know it's only one game. Looking at the table, we're fourth from bottom, aren't we? We are in a relegation battle, everyone. West Ham are fourth from bottom. But yeah, I know Frankie is. It doesn't make it worse, doesn't it, mate, when that club across the river or across London wins, and yeah, we're kind of still messing about, aren't we, mate? Peter, hope you're all right, mate. Hope you're all right. And just want to have a bit of fun and games as well, right? All of you who saw my instant match reaction, right? This is a Terry Wogan wand. And what I forgot to do was actually make it a bit smaller. I forgot how I made this. I think it's something that's it. This is a back scratcher, everyone, which I've turned into like a microphone handle. Listen, all you guys that remember Terry Wogan, blankety blank, you're absolutely right. I've only got it up to this level. I don't know. I think next time I might do Paul Daniels' magic trick. What do you think? Let me know. Oh, mate. I can't make some of those players yesterday play any better due to magic. They're that bad and past their best before date, mate. And you know what we do with best before date food? We put it in a bin. So some of those players need to go in a bin, but we'll come into that in a minute. Yep, mate, I think a lot of people are going to agree with you, mate. Circus it is, mate. I wouldn't say that yet, Alex. I think we're not happy because we all knew it, didn't we, right? We're not football experts. We're not ex-player coaches, or we haven't got the FIFA badges in this chat unless I don't know something. But we knew this was happening, mate. And then, okay, we've got some players over the line, and none of them featured in the starting lineup, right? For various reasons, and some players that are still there or should have been sold by now. It's an issue, and we should have just done things a lot quicker, a lot urgency in the window, really, not to have a repeat of yesterday. So, Alex, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, mate, I know how you feel. He was, Robert, and I missed it, didn't I? Because I didn't get into the ground till 7, 8, 9 minutes when the game started, and after the game, I saw that he had the scarf on, so. Unfortunately, a bit hot for a scarf, so very brave, Cornet. I've been sweating, mate. Yeah, Frankie did mention that, mate, didn't he? It's kind of we're not just adding one or two to a great squad. We ain't got a squad. We ain't got anyone, right? So, like I said, to all the people involved in West Ham transfers, just go out there and make the most of the free loans, and just get it done quick. Don't wait till the end of the window. You know, the fixtures. And I kept saying we don't want to play catch up. We don't want to be going to a game like Forest, which is very winnable. I believe Forest came across as the worst or one of the worst teams of the weekend, didn't they? And I know I loved it. You guys loved it. Lingard didn't do anything, did he? I don't even think he touched the ball. Many shots, nothing like that. But hopefully going into that game, and you have to win that game. Forest away, but it's going to be test of character, you know. It's going to be their first home game, sold out. Lingard's going to have that extra thing in his step, isn't he? But it is what it is, mate, and there's some harder fixtures. I think, look at Brighton yesterday, right? We got them coming up early. Spurs, Liverpool, Arsenal, all those boys are coming. Yeah, let's share that now, mate. Let's share that news now, mate. There we go. So breaking news, everyone. West Ham defender Issa Diop set to go medical before completing 15 million move. I would want to see if there's any details of. I would like to get as much of that up front as possible. But again, knowing West Ham, I just hope it's not like 3 million up front and the rest over 3 years. You know, we need that cash straight in the pot, recycle it. And this is another example why the club have wasted so many weeks and months, right? He wanted to go at the beginning of the window. Fulham came in early, but we've been messing about and over a few million here and there, and that's why it's gone so late. And again, being kind of reactive, shall I say? Now they've accepted a bid after that performance at Man City. He actually refused to play on Saturday. Make what you make of that. I think it's, what can I say? I mean, if he knew he's about to move, and again, he's a little bit naughty, but the club should have got rid of him, you know, a good while back. Again, for West Ham selling a player 15 million, I'm happy with that, right? We don't get anything, so I'll take that. I know the club wanted 20 million, but he's not really played hardly many games, going back a good few years. But I think he'd be interesting for Fulham, isn't it? Great start to the season for Fulham. One of my favourite boys, Mitrovic, as you know, couple of goals on his day. First goal, one penalty. So well done to them. But yeah, let me know in the chat what you think about Issa Diop, mate. I think he should have gone weeks ago, and his replacement should have been in. You know, so we'll go into the starting lineup in a minute. But yeah, we saw what happened. Who was the centre backs yesterday, didn't we? No, we can't say that yet. Yeah, that's it, mate. Oh, mate, when I saw myself in the video, I don't blame you guys, mate. Oh, mate. Do you think my one is longer than Terry Wogan's? I think so, isn't it? Isn't it? It doesn't even fit in the screen, look. Oh, mate. Yeah. Yeah, it's just that we should have done it before the first game kicked off, you know, because it's urgent, isn't it? Agard got injured weeks and weeks ago, and then he obviously knew the Diop situation. Dawson hasn't been fit throughout pre-season, although from what I'm reading, he should be starting against Forest. So you knew it was on the cards for weeks. Get things done, get people in, you know, starting a kid who's a bloody right back, a left back, and you stick him, you know, as part of the centre backs. It's not a good show, and he's playing against Haaland. My God. I wouldn't want to do that, mate. Yeah, he's up, mate. Let me know what you think about Diop in the chat, everyone. Let me know. For me, great first season. 24-25 million when he came. A lot of money for West Ham. Was one of the brightest young French defender talents out there. Under 21 regular, captain of his French team. And I felt, and West Ham felt, he's about to hit the full squad. Let's get him in early. Had everything in the game that you need. Speed, reasonable strength. But again, not quite reads the game very well, everyone. But we can't write him off completely, and hopefully he starts again at Fulham and see what happens. You know, a bit like Tompkins. Although Tompkins never did anything wrong at West Ham anyway. I don't know why he went. It's one of those things, and he did okay for Palace, didn't he? Hadrian's Wall is a total. What's that, Frankie? Hadrian's Wall. Oh, mate. Yeah, we should have won, shouldn't we, when it was 2-2? We beat them in the League Cup. And until they scored, which I'll go into in a minute, I'm just going to go through the chats first, see if there's any comments on Diop, and then we'll switch it to what happened yesterday, shall we? So let me just get that thing ready for you. There we go. So let me go through the chat, and then we'll carry on. Oh, mate, Alex. Ooh, not good, is it, mate? I don't want to think about that. Don't want to think about that, mate. There was a bit of good news from yesterday, and we'll come on to it. Mate. See, Alex, you see what I mean? It's going to go lower and lower now, isn't it, mate? And then it's going to end up with 3 million up front and then 2 million a year for the next whatever. You know what it's like. Darmish has helped us a lot in this window. He's kind of become a West Ham specialist, isn't he? Very, very good sort of news from him. Yeah, but when you look at the whole picture, Alex, he rightly or wrongly, honestly or not honestly, just said whatever. His head's not in the right place, mate. And If we played him and he had a nightmare of a game, then we would have been up and down. But pity, isn't it? Not very professional from both sides, isn't it? Yeah. It's like, why couldn't we do this deal last Monday, right? As an example, 1 week ago, and still got enough time to bring someone in, right? But we just left it so late. Half the new signings are not even fit, right? Half of them ain't even had no pre-season. Whose fault is that? It is what it is. And where other teams have got a lot of players over the line very, very early, and you could see they were ready to kick off. When Haaland arrived, was it first day of the window? You know, and you can imagine how hard it would be to construct a transfer like Haaland's level, you know, but they've done it. Rich, that's it, mate. And even they were saying that there were a couple of academy boys on the bench just to make up the numbers. Same story, mate. Same bloody thing since Christmas now, you know that. What it is, Alan, don't ever look at what other clubs do, right? Look at your own situation, right? And do things early, right? I know clubs want to wait for the bargain player, wait till the last week the window shuts. Not for us, mate. Not in our situation, right? And if getting a player in early is going to cost a few bob more, then you're going to have to do it, right? And the manager's getting more and more frustrated. And the last thing you want is an average start to the season, following on the back of a very poor league form since Christmas. That's not good for fans' morale. It's not good for new signings coming to a struggling team. And again, we'll go into what I saw all the players yesterday, mate. All right, mate. Yeah, let me know, Frankie, in the chat. What was all that about? Yeah, let me know. One thing was odd yesterday, Frankie, and everyone. You know those cards they put in your chairs? Like, a lot of them were claret our colours. The other side of it was Man City's colour. I know we're claret and blue, but I wouldn't have used blue for that game. Because I know people are covering their heads in the lower tiers because it's so hot, but that was all Man City colours to me. I know I'm colourblind, but a bit like what colour of Frankie's like background where his comments are. I don't know. We do some funny things, don't we? Bit weird. All the programmes ran out, everyone. It's £4 now, so there's no programmes when I got there again, 40 minutes before kickoff. So, yeah. Yeah, we're not doing good to Tommy. It's Monday. We hate Mondays, and we got nothing to shout about after the game and things like that, you know. You're right, Glenn. Hope you're right. You're right, mate. It's going lower and lower, isn't it, mate? You're low. How you doing, James E. Benny's going, isn't he? Benny's going, James E. We're going to go into that story in a minute. Sir Ben is on the way out. Ben Hur. Yeah, Sunderland winning, mate. Yeah, Pitsy, hope you're doing all right, mate. Yeah, mate. I don't even want to think about losing that game. We cannot lose that game. And what people are saying about them at the weekend, they didn't look too clever. But you know, teams that are off form, out of form, they get in form and they play us, don't they, mate? And Lingard's, yeah, going to be giving it to him as much chance as they get, really. Yeah, everyone's agreeing. Get some players in, mate. Brighton, innit, mate? They're coming up, aren't they? But coming up. United, all-time low they are. Oh, great point. Apparently, the United manager said that the Brighton manager outdone him on tactics. He wasn't prepared for that particular Brighton lineup and tactics. So, well done, Mr. Potter. Isn't it, Peter? I've been jumping up and down, talking about things we need to do. And now, and the funny thing is, I go into it again, you know, like Ross Barkley, I'm like, well, I'm not sure about him, but if we're desperate, his name's all coming up now, isn't it, today? Been linked with him. Yeah, let's go on to the formation and everyone. Basically, when you look at let me look at the lineup first, right? So Johnson absolutely shocked me when I saw it. I'm like, what? You know, I thought maybe Dawson's secretly getting fit. He'll start. So then immediately that kind of made me a bit worried. I knew Fabianski would play. We'll go into that in a minute. I'm not sure what injury he's had. So if I go quickly through the players, Antonio for me didn't do anything. Just ran a bit, fell over 2-3 times. No shots on goal, no headers. Might be one shot, I can't remember. And he'd gone off by the time I sat down for my second half seat. So Antonio, same, nothing. Lanzini, Didn't even notice him all game. He's well before his best before date. Fornals, nothing. Bowen, I don't blame him, but obviously he was not quite up to his high standards. Souček was okay. I thought Souček was okay, trying to help where he could in front of the back four. Ricey had a couple of shots, didn't he? He was all right. Yeah, he was all right. Not bad. Zuma, Johnson. The only thing was... yeah, we'll look at that in a minute. Yeah, so basically, yeah, obviously they've never played together, a centre-back pairing. That's not ideal when you're playing Haaland. Kresi's getting done for pace, weren't he? The guys were turning him, and Kufal and Kresi, they weren't stopping a lot of crosses going in, which was frustrating me a bit. I know they're playing Man City, the best team in the league, but for me, they were not cutting out enough of the crosses. Zuma Johnson, again, very difficult when you haven't played together. And sometimes I thought Zuma was by himself, but Johnson was kind of trying to do the best he could. And by all means, from some of the reports I'm reading and what I saw, he kind of said, okay, he wasn't too bad. That was all right. Fabianski, when he went off, he really didn't do anything wrong, to be fair. And I kept banging on about Areola, didn't I, getting more pre-season, because I said when he's suddenly going to be needed and he's going to be a bit rusty, you know, and kind of that was the case. Again, that goal happened very, very quickly, everyone. Even when you're there live, it was rapid. So what I'm hearing is it's actually just three things. First thing is Areola, obviously a bit slow getting off his line. And then they said that Haaland got away from Johnson a bit. And then the third thing is that Haaland in that situation is one of the world's best, you know, just being onside and just rapidly, obviously getting shot in or headers in or peeling away. So it's a bit of those three things, everyone, and it is what it is, isn't it? I think second goal we could have done a bit more, could have cleared it. Bit of a shame because before the first goal, I thought we were organised quite good, not too bad. And Haaland, obviously, there was a feeling he's not quite confident at the moment. And but we didn't have any threat up front, did we? It never looked like we were going to score. So the best thing we could have done is we weren't going to score with Antonio up front, no way. And obviously 1-0 down. And then still we kind of came back into it a bit. And then obviously goal at the wrong time, and that was a game gone. Skamaka, very, very happy with what I saw. Good height, good presence. Again, I told you, very mobile. He doesn't just stand in the wrong places. He tries to go up front. He had a header that I know it was offside, but we didn't know that in the ground, and I thought that's going in, and I thought it was a great save till we knew afterwards. He didn't know that, nor did the goalkeeper. And I like it. He's kind of trying to get involved, and he's not one like Haller. He wasn't just standing by himself waiting for someone to do something for him. He was moving around, right? I like that, providing an option, trying to win the ball back, and at the same time trying to have a shot, a header, trying to get in between the defenders. So those are very key moments for me. I thought he was good. Benny, very quiet for me again. And while I'm talking about Benny, everyone, let me get the news up for you. Where is he, Benny? But Benny is on the way out. They reckon, I don't know what I've done with it. Anyway, I'll go into him 1 minute. But Benny, apparently Nottingham Forest are showing an interest in him. Because I thought he would go, but I wasn't so sure where. There's no teams linked with him. And I think it'd be good for him as well, like Diop, to kind of start again and hopefully make some nice, good career for himself, really. Again, it all depends on what kind of financial deal we can do. So that's obviously telling us, everyone. Ben Rama's, we need a number 10, don't we? We need a number 10. We need a centre-back. We need a left-back. Do you guys still want a CDM? Do you want another striker? We'll go into the formation in a minute, but before we do, let's go back to our lovely thing, the chat, which I like to do. Irons. Hope you're all right, mate. I tell you what, again, I know it's been said before, but whoa, what an expensive day watching football. You know, I went with my daughter. I'm not going to go into sort of how many rum and cokes I had or how many cabs I caught, how many trains I caught. But, I mean, I didn't buy the programme, but I believe that's about £4 now. I think the pints are about £7-8, aren't they, everyone? Burgers are £13, are they, with chips? And it's hard times for everyone, isn't it, at the moment? So I don't know if the club can do any more, but especially the entertainment wasn't there, is it, for us? Lot of tourist fans around me, but listen, they were neutral. August, they're in London. They're allowed to watch a game in the best league in London, so I'm kind of okay. There's nice little kids around me, and this lady from Spain. I think there was someone from Germany behind me. So as long as they don't cheer or they think they're Man City, I'm okay. And they didn't. They were very neutral. You know, kids were kind of obviously taking photos of Haaland as and when they could. So again, let me know in the chat if you went to the game. What were the kind of people around you? But August, I thought, yeah, London. Well, only game on a Sunday, isn't it, everyone? Oh, right, James will not be happy with you. Yeah, it's best for everyone, isn't it, Ryan? You can't drag this on. You know, it's kind of more obvious that, yeah, there's something going on with his confidence, his morale, the manager, what he thinks of him. And that deal was 25 million to bring him in, everyone. 25 million. 20 million plus 5 million loan fee we done for him. So 25 million. How much do you think we'll get back from Forest? I don't think Forest got that much cash, have they? Yeah, he's one of the ones, isn't he, mate, Greeno? He's one of the ones, isn't he, coming in? You're right. Yeah. That's it, mate. It's all about in and out, mate. But we still need more than that, mate. You know, we've lost 11, didn't we, James, in the summer for no money coming in. And we're losing another couple now. And then obviously Vlasic and Torino, that's getting close, isn't it, everyone? Again, let me know in the chat what you think about Vlasic again. I don't know what. It just hasn't happened. So before we bring any more in, everyone, there's 3 more going out the door. 3 more going out the door, mate. So we just need so many. And surely, okay, if we haven't got that much money, surely the wages have gone significantly lower to help with that fact. And the owners have got to put a little bit of their own money in. They can't keep just using the money Sky are giving you or the FA Premier League or from some player sales. You've got to, in the past, yeah, you've got to dip your pockets in, mate. You know, make sure we get into Europe again and things like that. It's Bowen, wasn't it, Pitsy? Bowen done very well in that City game. Antonio was very average in that game for me as well, mate. But on that particular day, Bowen was very, very good. And he was in that rich vein of form back then, if you remember. That got him into the England team around that time or after. And he was very, very good running with the ball. That led to sort of 1 or 2 of those goals. So sometimes it's an individual that makes results, even though it's a team game. And they were all struggling yesterday, mate. There was no width to our game. Johnson obviously had to be careful at the back. Lanzini didn't create anything. And we just could not keep the ball. When we did have the ball, we just kept giving it away. Do you remember one of the Bowen corners? Oh, my God, that was, what was it, free kick? Really poor, wasn't it? Didn't get anywhere. It's only till Skamaka came on, it kind of went up a notch, didn't it? But before that, and you don't want to see that from your players' first game. I'm not going to say, because you can't say they're tired. I know they haven't had a rest as much as usual preseason is, and then some people, they're a bit rusty. They've been rusty since December, mate, January, right? Skamaka, I mean, he's not even fit, and he's looked better than all of them, right? And when I see Cornet next week, hopefully, I don't want him on the bench. That's when you're going to see the difference. You know, you don't buy players; they make a difference, mate. Buy players, and those ones who've passed it, just recycle them out, and then we'll be all right. Oh, Alex. No. What we're saying, Ballon, is obviously we wanted a bit of invention. So set up a couple of chances, creative. Because I don't think City's back four is all that great. If you get at them, there's a chance, right? I've never rated their back four. Ake is average. Stone is up and down for me, right? Diaz is okay. That just reminded me, Diaz done 2 naughty challenges. Antonio wasn't even booked. So they were getting away with a lot of tackles before getting booked, and finally one got booked for Bowen's foul, I think. So for me, if you get at them, mate, I think you can score. I don't think. I think that goes for a lot of the teams, even Liverpool. You know, I know they like to counter attack and they fall back sitting on the halfway line. If you go at them, people like Arnold, they can't defend. So you've got to go at them and not give them too much respect. But then once it went 1-0, 2-0, mate, they were playing with us, weren't they? I mean, if you look at the stats of possession, right, it's and we're at home. They've got 75% possession and we got 25%. 1 shot on goal, they had 2. So possession-wise, and then the way the game went on, everyone, it didn't look like City needed to get out of sort of second or third gear, did they? was quite easy for them, really. I'm not sure. I think if the money was tight, Tommy, you know, like me from Burnley, free transfer, Tarkowski, free transfer. Now Everton and Forest are mopping up everyone we want, isn't it, everyone? Connor Cody, he's going to Everton, I believe. Onana was in the crowd at Everton. I know we were all taking the mick out of him. But what the general feeling is, where David Moyes is getting frustrated, is that we're not agreeing the salary package, which has nothing to do with Moyes. That's why we're losing players, right? And I don't understand, right? If Lingard came in, then I don't think Cornet would have come in, because it's similar kind of thing with similar players. So you weren't prepared to give Lingard a few million here and there, free transfer, but you've paid 17.5 million for Cornet, and I'm sure he's on okay wages, right? And if you financially add that up, there ain't going to be much difference between the packages. Lingard still might be cheaper, right? So you've lost that player. And he didn't want to go in for any other. I mean, you bid 25 million for Tarkowski 2 years ago. Now you don't want him. Okay, that's fine. But I still think a free transfer is a free transfer. It's still going to work out cheaper than if a club wanted. You know, Burnley were very hard to do business with. They still wouldn't let him go even with 6 months to go of his contract. So a couple of those players, Tommy, would have been good. Connor Cody, I think, is a bit too much money for a 29-year-old mate. And again, we keep saying that we are one of the oldest teams. So let's look at mid-20 players, isn't it? Things like that. Apart from that, you just got to look at some players who perhaps are on the fringes of their kind of clubs. But another thing, Tommy, the top six, if we are going to go for anyone from their team, they're not really willing to give us any of their players, aren't they? That's another thing now, because we're finishing around 6th, 7th, aren't we? Ballon was watching the game very carefully. Mate, that's a team devoid of any ideas and invention, creativity, mate. Frustrated. They're probably frustrating some of the players that are good, you know, like Rice, Bowen, Zuma. They're feeling like us, mate. They're just fed up. They want to see players on their level, right? And it's just, there's Lanzini. I mean, come on, give me a break, mate. Jesus Christ. Oh, mate. Listen, what I saw, Ryan, is he fell down like 3-4 times, didn't he, mate? And he just could not hold on to the ball with his chest. Like, we were pumping it up to him to hold it, and he just kept falling over. And it's either that or Diaz Diaz, and you had to sort him out, mate. Okay. He did get caught out a couple of times, didn't he? Yeah. So perhaps we're not going to see the form he suddenly sort of showed in his first season. And I'll stick by it. We do need a left back, right back, wing back, another striker. Give us that another option, number 10. Mate, it's just sixes now we're talking about. We're not talking about 3 or 4 anymore, are we? Yeah, I saw Kresi and Grealish clash a couple of times, which they would, wouldn't they, mate? But Grealish isn't having the same impact as he did at Villa for me. He's okay, but he's not as the way dominantly he was for Villa, isn't it? Where he was just a one-man machine, wasn't he, everyone? No, Peter. Peter is the board, mate. But then again, listen, after having said all of that, we've got to look at the end of the window, haven't we? But by the end of the window, what? Was it 5 games we've played? We've got to buy now, haven't we, mate? I agree with you, Alex. That's why I'm not happy, mate. We want a good performance at least, don't we? And new players to see from the kickoff. That's going to change the dynamics. That team yesterday, mate, you and me and Pep would have known how we're going to set up play. It's not rocket science. There's no surprises, nothing to be afraid of. But you've got Skamaka starting in there, Cornet on the wing, a great, exciting number 10. Then Pep's got a few things to think about and worry about, mate, isn't it? The surprise factor wasn't there, mate, was it? Yeah, Torino, I heard. Torino, mate, again, mate, loan means we're not going to get any lump sum cash coming in, mate. They're skint. Again, you might not know, Masuaku, we've agreed a loan deal where we'll get 2 million at the end of the season, mate. 2 million. My goodness. I think a year ago, no one knew about Onana, isn't it? That's what I was saying. He's only had 1 season. So last season, this time, he wasn't not on anyone's radar. Kostic, maybe, or maybe he came into the headlines after the great Europa run. Broja, that is the one we should have got, Pitsy, last season ahead of Southampton. That's the one we should have got, mate. And Conor Gallagher, maybe, isn't it? Who we've been linked with again at the moment. Again, we're getting linked with. Let me get that story up for you. So you remember I kept throwing his name in the twist, didn't I? Ross Barkley as a number 10 in the middle. You know, let me know about that. Again, it's a kind of a West Ham signing from the past where someone used to be good, then they've gone down, so we're able to get them. Bit of Harry arm round. Can we get him up playing? Is it worth a risk? I think he's actually older than I thought. Do you know that? I think he has not done anything last couple of seasons. If it's a loan deal, I know some of these clubs hate these loan deals. They want a commitment that you buy and agree something. If we haven't got any money, mate, we might have to look at him. And I think he has worked with. I think Moyes, he would have been a youngster, wouldn't he, Everton? Moyes was there. I know he's been injured sometimes, but listen, I keep saying, if we can't afford anyone else, just get him in. The more numbers, the better. You know, rather get someone in. And he's half decent. He's not completely sort of. It was worth looking at. You know, worth looking at, mate. Yeah. Ben Rama got him. Yeah. All over the picture, isn't it, mate? All over the picture. Ricey is obviously, trying to make a few things happen. But not much to talk about, mate. Apart from Skamaka, I really enjoyed what I saw of him. Really excited, and that's what happens, mate. You know, when you see a new player like that. You're all agreeing with me now, aren't you? You're all agreeing with me, mate. Listen, to be fair, I have to say what's fair. Fabianski didn't do anything wrong yesterday, but I just don't want him there. I'm thinking long term, But I'm just worried about how Ariela's been brought along. It might take him a couple of games to be settled. But how would you feel if Ariel played twice and Fabianski's fit and Ariel goes out again? There's no plan, is there? And he can't be number one, Fabianski. There's no future growth in that, is there? It's about the performance. Yeah, about the performance and that kind of thing, mate. We're at home, 63,000 people in the crowd. We're not silly. City are the best team in the league, mate. But we drew 2-2 last season, or 1-1, I forgot what it was, and we beat them in the League Cup, Alan. Right? And just because they're a big team doesn't mean we just lie down and let them win, right? We got to do something, right? And again, we're a bigger club than some fans think, right? That's what we're saying. And again, their defense you can sort it out, mate. They're not all that at the back. Listen, when that penalty was won and you scored, that's all he needed, wasn't it? That's all we needed. I bet the rest of the league saying, well done, West Ham. Like we thought he ain't going to be caught on form when he plays us. But yeah, we've helped him, mate. 2 goals. I thought they'd leave him on the pitch so he could score a hat-trick, but he went off fairly early, didn't he? That's it, mate. Very predictable. Anyone that saw that lineup, mate, kind of knew what's happening. Yeah, mate. You got to bring him along quickly, mate. And then hopefully, just imagine Zuma, him, or Rice getting injured. Like I said, it's going to be catastrophe, mate, at the club. There might be an agreement where he's not allowed to, mate. Sometimes you can do that, but we're not that smart, are we? But then they're saying that they haven't got room for Benny and Lingard in the same team, and Lingard, I heard, doesn't get on with him. I'm not sure about this one. I think we're going to struggle to offload Benny for the money we want, and he might end up going somewhere we might not think of, might be abroad. I don't think he'll go at Forest. I don't think they need 2 people like that, but I could be wrong, mate. Yeah, we need number 10, don't we, Irons, mate? We need a number 10, mate. Let me close that window. Right, next one quickly before I carry on the chat. Looks like we are not going in for Emmanuel Dennis, everyone, because of his apparent character, which David thinks will not be good for the dressing room. So no Dennis. So Dennis is, again, one of those can play similar to Cornet, isn't it? He can play in a 4-4-2 up front, or he can play in one of those positions, the 3, isn't it? So Dennis, everyone, let me know in the chat. That's not coming in due to character issues. Right, that is the end of the Man City thing, wasn't it, everyone? Should we go into the centre backs? Let me just go back to the chat and we'll have a look at these centre backs, mate. And apparently we're going to make a bid this week. Again, why didn't we make a bid last week? Why didn't Diop leave a fortnight ago? Why are we doing it now? With the Forest game, 4 days away? And you know what Moyes is like, by the time player comes in, oh, he's not fit, it's not fit, it's going to take a month to get him fit. Yeah, Mandy! Mandy's up. Breaking news from Mandy. Ivan, I hope you're all right, mate. I hope you're all right. Yeah, I think the fee's been agreed, mate. Allegedly around between 13, 14, 15 million. So he's due to have a medical, I think, any time now. And we've obviously submitted a bid and counter bid to get someone in today, mate. Yeah. So he's on the way. Wish him the best of luck. Seems to be quite a funny, good character around training ground, Diop, didn't he? Quite a funny guy. Lots of jokes with him and Masuaku we saw. But that made me think he wasn't serious enough about his career. Bit too sort of happy-go-lucky type. Am I reading too much into it? I don't know. Let me know. Because 3 years have gone. It's a very small career for players, and last 2-3 years it's just gone through the bin, isn't it? Yeah, we'll see, Mandy. I just never have any confidence that we're going to sell it for half. We wanted 20. It'd probably be closer to 10, wouldn't it? More than 20. Yeah, I wouldn't pay those prices, mate. But you did see those price lists that were going around being distributed, isn't it? Yeah, 450, mate. That's actually, there's a good few pubs that give a pint for that price, isn't it? In certain areas, mate, 450 a pint. Yeah, the important question, Ryan, is how much of that we're going to get up front, isn't it? You're right. The more cash up front, the better, because whoever we buy, they're going to demand the same, right? So we're going to be out of pocket if it's like 5 million up front and the rest slow. So that doesn't help. So again, Diop came in for about, I reckon, 25 million, mate. Benny came in for 25 million. Vlasic came in for 20 million plus add-ons, which could have made it 30. So 70 million on those three. Should be, because I know he missed large parts last season. That should be fine. Yeah, I agree with you, Alex, mate. I agree with you. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about Areola. I am worried about that. Yeah, I am. Because it's your mind. Like, are you in? Are you out? Are you starter? Are you not? I don't know. You need to make the new man coming in your new number one from the start of pre-season all the way through. Because like I said in my instant reaction, leading up to this Man City game, I bet you that Areola wasn't involved in any of the training with that starting team or the drills that you do, right? So I'm sure Johnson probably knew, I hope he knew for a good days that he's going to play there. So, they do this little thing together. Areola wouldn't have been part of that. So then suddenly halfway through the game, you've got a goalkeeper that's hardly played in the league. So Zuma doesn't really know much. Well, don't really have an understanding with him yet. And Zuma doesn't have an understanding with Johnson. You got Grandad Cressy, and you know his issues. Kafal's confidence isn't that great at the moment. That is a bomb waiting to happen, isn't it? So looking on the bright side, I'm kind of, the only bright thing I can say, which might not be for some people, is that we only lost 2-0. So that's kind of respectable. So, I don't know. So that's the only thing I could think of, mate. But that was a bomb waiting to happen, wasn't it? Then you got Grandad Lanzini ahead of you lot. If I was City, I don't think I had much to fear. Bowen's obviously superb, but Bowen's even had enough, and he's like, I can't be asked today. So you got Grandad and Tony up there. He is what he is anyway. Yeah, I saw us lose a possession a number of times carelessly, mate. Not even under pressure, overhitting a pass. Didn't really have many set pieces, but whatever I saw was very poor, So a lot of issues on that side. That's why I wanted Ward-Prowse in. Well, just do your due diligence. Let's get someone in who is good at set pieces, I'm going to have to look at Cornet. Does he take penalties? Does he do something else? I don't really want attacking players taking corners like Bowen. I don't like that kind of thing. Do you remember Harry Kane used to take corners as a striker? What the hell's that all about? I don't get that. What it is, Ryan, we think he's our number one of the future. That's the situation, right? I wanted Pope, right? So while we're making a fuss is he apparently is coming as the new number one for the future, right? And I think he should be given that opportunity now. So the manager's obviously thinking something of him to bring him in, right? But he's not sure, like, because he didn't play last season. He's come on the back of that player of the season at Fulham. He's left PSG, who is, biggest teams in the world, very well paid. And mentally, what would you do, Ryan? I mean, I don't know. That's what we're saying is either, let him know, give him the confidence that the next 10 games, you're my number one, blah, 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 blah. It's not good to keep going in and out, in and out, in and out, not sure what's going on, isn't it, mate? Yeah, 5 or 6 island I'm thinking of now, mate. I was saying 3 or 4. Yeah, mate, it's the same. Nothing's going to change, Alex, until, like you said. So if I bring up yesterday's lineup again, let me get it up. My magic board here that you guys love. Let me go to the back a bit. There we go. Let's have a look at that. So this is the team that we can put out at the moment, right? So Ariel in goal, and I think Dawson's going to play against Forest, right? I think it's going to be extra hard year for Dawson. He's an extra year older, extra year slower. Dawson, for me, is a great on the bench, a few cup games here and there. Forest will be all right, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know what the front two are like. I'll have to have a look. But certainly you do not want to play Dawson against the top 6. It's unfair on him in the way. He tries best, does a lot of good things, a lot of goals, set piece threat. That's another thing, everyone. Did you we've been talking about this big team we've got. Yesterday, there's no height in the team. Did you notice that? There's a lot of little players on there yesterday, and obviously Skamaka didn't start, and then we're missing sort of Agard and things like that, and then big CDM. So again, there wasn't much from a corner really, was it, in terms of height? So yeah, you look at this team. We need a left back, left wing back. Otherwise, like you said, Alex, Dawson, that's one he's replacing. Johnson at that side, I think we should get a better left back than Johnson if he plays there. That's 2. Kafal, mate. I ain't going to work out, mate. That ain't going to work out. I think Johnson needs to go there. He's a bit more steady than Kafal. So I might say leave the right back one till Christmas. Souček wasn't bad yesterday, but I wouldn't mind another CDM in there. I know Downs, but I don't want to put too much pressure on him. So that just might be the situation where we've got those 3 for now. Bowen, everyone, I'm thinking we'll have to move from the wing and playing at number 10 until we get that player in. And then Bowen goes back to the right. So Antonio goes to the right. Bowen's right in the middle, Cornet left, Skamaka up front. Let me know what you think about that. And this is what we can do at the moment, right? But looking at that, we need a centre-back, left-back, stroke wing-back, number 10, isn't it? That's 3. 3 that definitely we need. And the rest you lot guys can all kind of think about, isn't it? Yeah, again, good for him. Listen, mate, it's not good mentally for a player going through that either. Again, the guys can knock me. I just don't think there's anything there for us from him. Torino, hopefully it works out for him, mate. Yeah, hopefully it works out. I think, Mandy, the other thing is that I noticed, Mandy, was that actually, let me see if I can move this to 1 minute. That's a bit better, isn't it? There we go. So what I'm realizing now, why we've gone in for another centre back, obviously apart from the obvious news, is that I think they've written off Oggy, a bit like Winston Reid. Oggy keeps coming back, breaking down, 34, I think. I don't think they got much hope of Oggy. In terms of any games he plays will be a bonus. That's why it's got even more urgent, Mandy. So don't really count Oggy as part of the centre-backs we've got. So we've just got Zuma. Dawson as a okay backup. Agar's injured. That's 3 of them. So you do need 2 for every position, isn't it? You've got 2 centre-backs playing a team. You need 4, don't you? That is the issue, Mandy. That is the issue. You're right, mate. You're right. So, yeah, like you said, Fram, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well, mate. It's about that's just one of the issues, Fram. It's more than that, mate. I mean, like I said, the wing backs, full backs, very, very important position these days. I look at the likes of Matty Cash, Trippier, Arnold, Robertson. You know, you need bit more, right? So we need help around all around the pitch. You know, creativity is just one of them. Which always comes to the highlight when you don't score, as an example, or set anything up. So you instantly think about number 10, and that's Lanzini, right? But the idea is that hopefully David Moyes is thinking, like me, the great Jazz, that we need goals through different avenues. Like I was saying, there's no width yesterday, anyone, no width at all, right? So we need someone in that full-back, wing-back role that can bomb forward, cross it in, and then a number 10 is important. And listen, mate, Cornet's going to be, 300% better than Fornals, right? Trying to score, make things happen to help Bowen, you know. And Skamaka will be a lot better than Antony up front. So, yeah, we kind of hopefully get there in the end, mate. We'll get there. But, yeah, it's just not about that. It's a couple other things, isn't it? Absolutely right, mate. Absolutely right. I would argue, Vinay, that Lanzini, Creswell ain't even good enough for the bench for me. I'm sorry about that. I don't think they're even good enough for the bench, mate. I don't know what salary they're on, how long they got left. Well past it for me, mate. Antonio will be good. That's the postman coming. Funny story about the postman. The oven is really hot. A couple of days ago, I got him a nice cold can of Fanta for my postman. Isn't that good? There's still people like me in the world helping out in a hot day. Here you go, son. It's like, yeah, cheers, mate. I think he wanted a rum, though, but I ain't going to do that. He's working, isn't he? Oh, mate. Yeah, Moisey's one off, innit? You know what he's like. That's the thing, Peter. We all focus on Rice, but listen, mate, there's two of them. But don't forget Zuma, mate. Don't forget Zuma. For me, he's a great, great defender. If we don't win anything, not sure, mate. Not sure. Well, you do, Mandy, if you give away an early-ish goal and then it's hard to get the ball back off them. But while it's 0-0, we didn't do enough, did we? We were kind of safe, weren't we, Mandy? We didn't really threaten them with anything to think about. And what I'm saying about these teams like Liverpool City, when you threaten and scare them early on, that gets them a bit nervous at the back. You remember Oggie's goal against Liverpool from the corner and one or two other goals against Liverpool in that great game. You remember City performance. So that's what it is, man. As soon as it's 1-0 to that team, then it's kind of gone, right? So while it's 0-0, have a good plan to kind of make them think as well, you know? Because these teams are usually overconfident, leave gaps at the back. And if you isolate the centre-backs or full-backs, half a chance you can nip that goal away, you know? I know Man United, I know winning is good, but that's a great performance by Brighton, isn't it, away as well? And Fulham. You know, bravo Fulham, you know? Great performance and should have won the game by all means. It's difficult, isn't it, Ryan, that question? Difficult, mate. It's difficult because don't forget Areola, the last time he did play, what more can he do than to be player of the season for your club? And you remember the games against West Ham, he done well, mate. But then, Ryan, who would you brought in then? Let me know. Who would you brought in as the goalkeeper then? Or are you happy with Fabianski playing all season and the season after? Yeah, let me know. We just have to go with what Moyes has got, mate. And I'm thinking, if you bring him in, we've got to put him in. Alex. Yeah, that one's gone a bit quiet, isn't it? Zelensky's gone a bit quiet, isn't it? See what happens with that one. So anyway, I reckon we're going to make a 12.4 million bid for Attila the Hun. You remember the guy we kind of featured last time? So let's see what happens with that. But that's kind of what I'm hearing. And while we are live, let me refresh my favourite page and see if anything's come up just now. Let me just sort this out a minute. Hang on, won't be a minute. There we go. Right, something's come up. Let me think. Okay. Okay. Nothing really new. But what they're saying is that yeah, Dupe's well on the way out. So is Vlasic. So is Ben Rama. So Suchek looks like staying, isn't he? I thought Suchek's on the way out as well. But then that thinking was that Anana's coming in, right? And again, you guys are scratching your heads why we've lost Lingard, why we've lost Anana. It's due to wages. And what was the difference if you calculate that over? I don't know. But Anana is a big risk. He's not cheap, and his wages are not cheap, right? That one is dodgy. But Everton are so desperate. Those are the only kinds of people that are going to come to them who pay silly money. But then, to be fair, they did look half decent, and Chelsea were pretty average, weren't they? Yeah. Yeah, we just didn't have that. We just had that same look about us that we've had for the last 5 months. Even in pre-season, it's just don't really want to be on the pitch. Kind of doing okay while we're running around, but don't really have any self-belief. Don't have that extra. You remember the games at Liverpool last season and Spurs? We were in there, weren't we? Running around, really motivated, and the only way that is going to happen is when obviously Skamaka starts games and Cornet and 3-4 others, everyone. And then I think he'll be all right. But how long before that happens and how long before we slide down the table that happens? I mean, it's not good, is it? I think we're fall from bottom, aren't we, everyone? It's not great. Makes that Forest game pretty crucial, doesn't it? Bloody hell, saying crucial with only the one game gone. But it's all about momentum. I mean, I know Arsenal lost, was it the first 3-4 games or more? And they nearly got into Champions League, but that might be a one-off how Arsenal recovered. They recovered because they had a great window, remember? They changed their back four, didn't they? Got rid of a few old places and recycled. That's what we should do. Recycle the people that are past it. Because if it was West Ham, we'd carry on with Lacazette and Aubameyang, wouldn't we? 350 grand a week. Some of them are moody, don't even turn up for training, but bring in some young, hungry people, isn't it? Yeah, there is a fine line, mate. There is a fine line sometimes, but do you reckon any of those shots were really going in, though, Vinay? I mean, we could all take a silly shot. I don't know. Because they've got a good goalkeeper, haven't they, as well? I don't know nothing about them, Tommy. I know Lingard, right? I don't know anything about them. And when I look at their stats, and I'm thinking, is this the modern world? These players have only had like one good. That Zielinski, he's not even a regular for Napoli, right? He's not, but more than often. I think he's plays for Poland, so Fabianski wants him in. And they're talking about what, 25, 30, 40 million? That's the worry, isn't it, mate? You know? And there's not many of those around, is there? That's why I really wanted Lingard in, because there's not that many players like that. I mean, he could have a crap season already, but I'm just based on what he did for us, you know, that kind of thing. Breath of fresh air, hit the ground running, injects a bit of pep. I think Cornet's going to do that, but they all need help. Bring more in. Bring that number 10 in to sit next to Cornet and Bowen. Skamaka, Cornet, new number 10, Bowen. That's as good as any in the league, right? So I know it's a bit of doom and gloom as usual this morning, but it can get changed. It's up to the board. It can change, right? Haggard's going to be back much sooner than we think. I think we need a left wing back. But then again, it's going to be just our cheapest player of the window is probably going to be in that fullback positions again. I know you guys have been saying we keep on under investing in that area. I agree with you. You know, you remember that window again. Matt was mentioning at the weekend that when City bought, was it 2-3 fullbacks, 50 million each, Walker and all those guys. It's always going to one or two positions that are going to be underinvested in, isn't it? And that's always fullbacks for us. Yeah, he's got the captaincy taken off, isn't he? I mean, Gerrard's not really that great, is he, mate? Not really that great, to be fair. Yep. I mean, the last day of the window is last day of August, so we've got Forest coming up. So it could be another 3 games at least. So played 4 by the time the window shuts. So you want to bring in quick as possible, isn't it? Yeah, good age, mate. Good age. That guy's 23, isn't he? Areola's late 20s, I think, something like that. We were right last season, Lee. We should have won, but drew, didn't we, mate? And then we beat them in the League Cup. But yeah, I mean, City, best in the league, didn't they? They're going to give everyone a whack. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Gonna be a lot of money, a lot of wages, and I'm sure he's on the wrong end, isn't he? Let me get that thing up for you. Let's have a look at a few players, then, shall we? How old is Mings? Mr. Mings. Get him up. No, I'm not sure about him. Oh, he's 29. 29. It's 29, and don't listen to this 30 million. That doesn't really make much sense. I think he came from Burnley, didn't he? And then he helped them come up, didn't he? Born in Bath, 29. Well, doesn't it clearly tell you what bloody team they play for? For God's sake. Hang on, let me just get it. Stats by club. Yeah, that's better. Bournemouth. Oh, he came from Bournemouth and Ipswich. It's 29. Not for me, but it's crucial. It's the left-right footed combination. So if that works, I don't know what foot he is. It might be all right. Not sure. Connor Cody, let me know in the chat. Think about Connor Cody. I made some notes while I was watching the game. Let me see if I've missed anything out. Yeah, a few free kicks. No height. Yeah, what do you think about the 2 subs after 91 minutes David Moyes done? That was a bit weird, wasn't it? Let me go back to who that was again. Do you remember? That's a bit weird, isn't it? Why would you bring 2 players on after 91 minutes and they weren't exactly going to score a goal, were they? So let's have a look at that. Who was that? Matt Summery, Downs, and Connor Coventry came on after 92 minutes, everyone. What was all that about? That is weird, isn't it? Don't understand that. If anyone understands that, let me know in the chat. That's a very interesting point, Peter. Very, very interesting point. Obviously depends. Most players wouldn't probably remember David Moyes when he was at Everton or at the beginning. He's one of the oldest managers now, isn't he, mate? And obviously if Lampard's a manager, Gerrard's a manager, Klopp, well, Mourinho's a legend anyway. Conte's one of the best managers in the world. Yeah, they're kind of easy to play for, isn't it, mate? Again, with respect to everyone from Scotland and people like that, I think they would struggle to understand him anyway, mate. But I'm just being honest. Well, Gerrard's probably got the same situation. I don't know. But yeah, very good point. Let me know again in the chat you agree with Peter. That's why I like it. Some of you guys in the chat, full of knowledge, bit of wit, bit of having a go at jazz. Well, not too much. I like all that. Bit of banter in it, bit of different opinions. And then sometimes in the chat, you guys help each other out, don't you, with your points and stuff. I'm so happy and glad that Cornet came to us, because I'm sure a number of clubs are after him for that money. Yeah, you're right, mate. Be competitive, isn't it, mate? Be competitive. What formation was it, mate? Hope you're doing all right, Mickey. 4-3-3. Haaland, Foden, Grealish. Let me have a look at, when we drew with them. Let's see how City played when we drew with them last season in May when it was 2-2. Same formation, Mick. I'm not saying this site's 100% correct. And this is largely the same team. Dawson didn't play. But that day, for me, Dawson and Zuma were very, very good. And Bowen was just world-class that day, wasn't he, everyone? That was kind of the difference, isn't it, mate? Yeah. Alex. Maybe listen. Football's a funny old game. We'll play it game by game, week by week, and what we saying yesterday, well, I am anyways. That's we weren't really competitive, and that's largely due to doing slow business over the transfer window. So by that I mean some of the players, obviously, well, none of them were in the team starting lineup. Agard hands up. You can't predict injuries, but some of the others could have been brought in a bit earlier on, and there's no excuse to still have Creswell there at left back. No excuse to play Johnson at centre back. No excuse to have Lanzini in the number 10 role. No excuse to still have Antonio up front. So that is my summary on yesterday, mate. Yep, City were probably going to win more than not. Out of 10, they're probably going to win all of them. Just wanted a bit more from our team, and it's not a good starting point. I don't think they got any confidence out of that. Sometimes you lose, but you're giving it a good game, right? And West Ham fans applaud the team off even when you lose, as long as you've given something to the fans, And Forest. Actually, the good thing is Forest haven't had a good start, so they're not going to be confident. But at home, first game sold out, Lingard and 7-8 other players they bought. We're going to have to do something early in that game, aren't we? That's the thing, Peter. First game of the season, Antonio's still lethargic, huffing and puffing. Mate, come on. Forget that. Yeah, he kept falling over, didn't he? Repeatedly. Then there's one bit where I thought he seriously hurt. He kept touching his knee, didn't he? And then he kind of got up eventually, didn't he? That's it, mate. That's it. Well done, well spotted, mate. Zuma's all right, isn't he? More. I mean, most games is 7-8 out of 10, isn't he? Right. Oh, mate. Oh, wow. Dale, how you doing? You all right, mate? Hey, how's it going? Yeah, just need to offer a bit more, isn't it, for the fans? Because the fans will get behind you. Even if imagine you do a really good attacking move, lots of one-touch passes, ball hits the post, goalkeeper has to make a good save, opposition. The crowd's going to go nuts, mate, and that's how you lift. Because let me know what you thought. The atmosphere, bit up and down, bit flat. I don't know, bit too hot. I don't know, let me know. Really, are you guys that depressed? Are you? Because I'm just thinking Skamaka's going to start, Agar's going to come back in, Cornet's going to obviously hopefully come in next game, and it looks like we're going in for another 2-3 players. So, but we've got to do all that quickly, haven't we? Oh my! Ooh, it's always difficult to think of who you want in, isn't it, mate? Always difficult. It's always easy to say get out, but then Eddie Howe would have been the second one for me. So when Moisey came in for me, and I did shows on that, American Hammers TV, all that, it was out of them two, I said, right? Everyone else wanted some Brazilian, Dutch, attacking forward, Brazilian football, all that stuff. So for me, Moisey edged it because of the experience of when the team's struggling, and because Eddie Howe had only seen him at one club kind of thing. But now, obviously, Eddie Howe's been given a longer contract, and he's well on the way, isn't he, with a club on the up, mate. Yeah. Potter, Mr. Potter. I need to study him a bit more. I don't follow Brighton, right? So let me know in the chat, do Brighton play great football? I don't see great football when they play us. They kind of they play like Martin O'Neill's Leicester a bit. Maybe not as high ball as that, but they remind me of Martin O'Neill's Leicester teams a bit, Brighton. Get in your face a bit, all that kind of thing, with a few good outlets up front. And I'm not sure about Brighton, the way they play. I can't work it out. But then Ryan, I'd rather have him in than there's a gap. So I'd rather have him till the window and see how it goes. But if we've got money to bring in someone better, then no problem with that. No problem with that. Yep, he's staying, mate. He's staying. Yeah, it's taken a while, the whole clear out, isn't it, everyone? Yeah. Taking a while, isn't it, mate? Oh, mate, Ross Kemp. Bloody hell. Crazy. EastEnders, isn't it? Well, Neighbours finished, didn't it? Last episode of Neighbours. God, I remember that. Coming back from school and it beyond. Wow, that ran on for ages, didn't it? I'm not sure, mate. Again, because I don't follow other clubs a lot. Did Broja? Did he have any time on that game? Should we have a look? Should we have a look if Broja played? I don't know, mate. I don't know. Let's see if he was in the team. Everton 1-0. Lineups: Chelsea, Broja. Oh, he came on. Broja came on for Havertz, so they are looking at him, mate. It doesn't tell me when he came on, right? Was that the last minute or something? But they are, to be fair, giving him a look. Yeah, they are giving him a look, to be fair. So I don't think they're ready to let go quite yet, mate, but might get something at the end of the window. You're right, Jamie. I hope everything's all right, mate. George. Yeah, interesting, eh? Yeah. What's Bilic up to these days, anyway? Not sure what he's up to. Did you guys know he's a trained lawyer, Bilic? Let me know in the chat. And he's a very good guitar player in a rock band, isn't he? Something like that. Yeah, that's what I mean. Can't say nothing against Fab on the game, mate. It's just thinking long term, isn't it? Yeah, just thinking long term. And Tremor, let me know again. Isn't it frustrating again how there's no goal like Nathan Trott? What the hell's going on? Either he's good enough or he isn't. I think he's been given another contract. You know, it's just Mervyn Day came through last mid-70s. Who else came through as a goalkeeper for the youth? Oh, the other boy, the youngster who played in that Bradford game, didn't he? Forgot his name, but he didn't turn out to be too good, did he? He went to Derby. I don't know where he went. Yeah, Gary. Good point, mate. Vinay's just listen, mate. Vinay, if you saw 3-4 great players signed for your club, it's going to get you excited, and it's going to say, "Ouch! I better step up a bit because they're going to take my space." Right? I know it didn't make any difference to Antonio yesterday. I'm just saying, you know. I mean, Lanzini knows he's got the position for himself at the moment. He don't care. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Yeah. Did they come in for him, mate? I don't even think he'll pass a medical, Lanzini, would he? I don't know. But again, he's got that David Moyes favourite badge, and Moyesy loves him. He's still living off that game him and Arnie had against Stoke, didn't he? In David Moyes' first spell. Yeah, Darren, how you doing, mate? Darren's in Bangkok. Before you say Darren's gone mad, so it is good evening for him in that part of the world. Alex, the thing is, you can't do that in the modern game, which I find frustrating. You can't even breathe on the guy, right? And you know some of them, like Salah, you even breathe on when they fall on the floor, right? So you can't do anything. The game is just gone. There's no dribblers. There's no proper wingers. There's no hard men in the game anymore, mate. You're just gone, aren't they? But what they were saying on radio, interestingly, especially with Schematic, they're saying it's the return of the target man, who they think has been missing from a lot of teams recently, right? So they're saying the target man is back, whether that's Scamacca or kind of this Liverpool guy, Nunez or Haaland. So the little fast people up front, they're big target men are coming back, aren't they? Yeah, Monco used to do both. You know, he was a number 10 and he could spray the ball. I remember when we signed him from Swindon, Harry was looking for a player. Again, another story to share with you. And Jamie Redknapp told his dad he's one of the best centre mid players I played against. And Swindon had just come up I'm not sure if Glenn Hoddle was a manager back then for Swindon, and we signed Moncur, and he looked great at the beginning, brilliant, and then he kind of lost his space a little bit. Martin Allen, great. You see a lot of time for him, Martin Allen. Had a great shot on him, Martin Allen, didn't he? Dixie was no nonsense, mate. Whoa, one of my favourite players. When I went in 89-90, that boy was the best player. He was the best player, mate, in our team by miles, and should have had a chance in the England team more than he did, isn't it? Something about his haircut not being right, crazy. Oh, so it's a lot of money, isn't it, mate? A lot of money, mate. A lot of money for that. Yes, the way it is. Let me just close that window up. I'm going to go through the chat and close up quickly. But for me, let's get those players in as quick as we can and not let any more games sort of waste. And I know City were going to win more than they weren't going to win against West Ham. We play City 10 times. They're going to beat us much more than we do, right? But it's all about performance as well, right? So not much to shout about yesterday, but the two good things for me are going to laugh at me. One is that we only lost 2-0. So on paper, that's all right. And Scamacca coming on. I like what I saw. So happy but not apart from that, not much else going on. And we were going to be glued to our computers and mobile phones looking for these 5-6 people, everyone, aren't we? That's the thing. So let me quickly go for the chat. Let me call it quits. Let me go to the other side then. Let's go to the bottom because they're the latest ones. I don't want to miss anything. Now, Hammerhead. Was it? Because wasn't one of the Brighton goals virtually close to being offside, wasn't it? And they said it's okay. Oh, who liked the Brighton boy who shoved Bruno right in the face? I hate Bruno. He's such a wind-up merchant. And I think he was one of the CDMs, Brighton. He just done him, mate. Whacked him right in the face. That was good, mate. I can't stand him, Bloody git. Yeah, by water. That's it, mate. Darren Lewis. Darren, you got the same name as that journalist. Isn't it Darren Lewis, journalist as well, follows Tottenham? And he's a bit like Darmish. He comes in with transfer news. or are you Darren Lewis? I don't know. Let me know. If you are, you better get on the show, mate. Let me know any transfers going on. I think 11 players have left, Daniel. Someone's telling me we've lost 11 players, mate, for no money. And so it's going to be much more than that, mate. They're all feeding their pockets, like I think even Sam Allardyce, his son was agent or something like that, mate. Who will supply the Big Mac, Crazy? That would be, if we spent the money, would be the new left back stroke wing back. And then hopefully either Kafal improves or Johnson gets that awaited run at right back and he's hopefully more athletic, mobile, and improve on his delivery, right? Cornet's another one. Bowen on the right will obviously come back into his own, and that guy who's going to be in the middle, isn't it? So those are the changes. Those are the new people we need. Improvement at right back. Internally, between Kufal and Johnson, if we haven't got money to get anyone new in, but definitely new left back, wing back, and number 10. Everything should go for that number 10. That's such an important position because as soon as Rice and Souček pick up the ball, they're going to give it to that number 10. And then he's got to look around and feed the fullbacks, feed Cornet, feed Bowen, feed Scamacca. Very important position, right? So easy saying, Benrahma, you're going, but we better have a good answer ready, Going back to sort of James' question. Okay, he's gone. Wish you the best of luck. Sorry it didn't work out. But the last thing you want to see is Lingard and Benrahma kicking out their new clubs and we haven't bought a really good replacement in. That's not good, is it, everyone? We've been through that one. Yeah, Daniel, you don't want to be like that in the first game, do you, mate? You know, you don't want to be like that. You know, it just sets a marker, and it's not good for new players to see that. Scamacca was hard to come into a game like that, isn't it, mate? What happens in that, mate, is let me just show you that quickly. So what happens in that situation? Hang on, where should I go? I'm always moving around. That's it. So what we're saying is, mate, when that number 10 comes in and Tony's not going to be in the team, right? So Bowen's going to go to the right, Cornet's left, and this new number 10 will be the majority of the creator and the dictator of play. Very important position, right? Bit like Ericsson. God, I wish you could get Ericsson, you know. So, but then we're not gonna rely on one way of scoring or one player, right? Obviously, that number 10 will be instrumental, but that will mean Bowen in his best position on the wing, Cornet cutting in, doing all sorts of things, Scamacca, great person to have up there up front, and then hopefully width and overlapping support from the fullbacks, mate. So different ways of getting there. Yeah. I thought he was David Moyes. I know he played at Forest, the centre back, and games that up and down, wasn't it, mate? All right, let me just oh mate, I can't keep up with it. I need a moderator. That's just the honest truth, Hammerhead. I'm like, oh my god. But he's got the same name as you, the same name. Oh my god, that was a nightmare, mate. I'm getting hot. Oh, the heat's picking up again, everyone. Have you heard about it? This drought's going to be worse than the one before. Oh my god, I can't even see the grass anymore outside. All right, let me go back to the thing. Oh, I might have missed anything. Oh god, which one was it? I'll start off with this one. I'll start with Tommy, unless I did that already. Okay. That's what I think, mate. I've not really seen it. If anything, just look at the championship, you know, something like that. Just that's what the scouts do. It's not my problem. Go out in the world, and they would have been looking at it since December, January, right? You've only got one thing to do, right? We do different things in our lives, right? Their job is to look at leagues and players. Just get on with it, you know. Get on with it. You're right, mate. Wasting time, aren't we? 28. Cool. Yeah, I like what I saw. I like what I saw, mate. I like what I saw. A lot of it is mentally looking for those little runs, not staying in the wrong position or waiting for someone else to do something for you. He's trying to make things happen himself, right? And that's kind of, yeah, how they used to do, and Antonio these days is doing. So it is what it is. He is, mate. And again, well done to the club. We know when they do things good, we say well done, getting him in over the line, mate. No, not for me, Daniel. No. Eric is really injury prone to the effect. I think he's missed whole campaigns, mate, right? And he's well old. Not for me, mate. I don't know. Not for me. Alex is agreeing. Right, I am gonna call it. Hang on. John, the expat from Thailand. Welcome, mate. Happy doing all right. That's 2 people from Thailand now we've got. Ah. Would you be kept sweet with just playing, what was it, 80 seconds, you reckon they got out of it? By the time you've run on and gone like that, you're bloody going off, aren't you? Oh my god. Oh, look at that. Tactical Josmo up. You're doing all right, mate. Too late by then, wasn't it, mate? Too late. Yeah. Like you said, those 5 substitution things on the bench are not going to help a club like that, are they? So it's actually, yeah, it's not positive for us, mate. It's not positive for us. One more comment. I thought it'd make you more mobile and more faster, mate, losing a bit of weight. He's still quite bulky, muscly, you know, to be fair, compared to a lot of players, isn't it, mate? I thought it would be, mate. Have you heard about how the the Russian ruble is stronger now than before the war started, and how the BRIC countries, which are Brazil, Russia, India, a little bit China sometimes, they're not going to deal in dollars anymore. So the dollar's going to go down and down, and then the new currency will be developed between the emerging countries that will be based on minerals, water, copper, gold, that kind of thing, right? So keep an eye on that. Change in the world order, everyone, happening. I hope nothing happens to Coke, because I use that for my rum, everyone. And will water shortages affect the production of rum? Let me know in the chat, and then we'll call it quits. As the most important question of the whole chat. We've been going live 1 minute 21. Let me know in the chat, will water shortages mean issues in making rum for jazz, especially Bacardi or Mount Gay? That kind of thing. Let me know, right? Let me know. Certainly does, certainly does. I still think we're okay to finish 8th or 9th at least. I can't see us in the bottom 10. No. That's it, mate. That's it. That's it. Yeah, I think China's got a lot of gold in reserves. We sold all ours under Gordon Brown at the wrong rate, if you remember. US leadership is the poorest ever seen. They're dreadful. Biden often trips over stages, forgets what he's saying. He's too old. Kamala, the number 2, awful, mate. Not up to the job. We don't know who our prime minister's going to be. A lot of issues, isn't it? A lot of issues, mate. A lot of issues. Right, I'm going to call it quits. But hopefully, when I catch up with you next, it's about a signing, right? And it probably will be. You know, we are looking for a centre back, but we need a left back as well. So I hope they're really, really busy getting those deals done, making us happy, and that kind of thing. Really, is there one more comment coming in from Hammerhead? Yeah, mate. I mean, I don't want to say it, but a big war happens every so often, and we overdue one. I hate to say things like that. It's not a happy place, the world, is it, mate? London Stadium's not happy. Ukraine's not happy. Russia's not happy. US not happy. UK not happy. Who's happy out there then? Middle East, the oil countries, as ever, with that black liquid gold that they've got. That's where the happiness is. But then it might be too hot for them as well. I don't know, mate. That's it. Anyway, good afternoon. Thank you for watching, and we will catch up as soon as I hear of medicals being booked, bids being accepted, and names coming in, right? That's going to be hopefully the next show we do, right? So have a great day. Hopefully the week goes quickly for you guys, and we'll catch up with the weekend, football. But certainly I think we'll be doing a show midweek about someone coming in, right? So take care. Come in, you irons, everyone.